Hello everybody, my name is Mars, you can call me MG if you'd like, and today I'm going to be telling you all of the series that I am in the middle of. It's a lot, so better hang in there because I have no idea how long this video is going to be. A few disclaimers. First, normally there's some car sounds in the backgrounds of my videos. My office is at the front of the house on a fairly busy street. Today there might be some extra sounds because there has been some road work happening about half a block up the street, and they dug a huge pit, took out some pipes, replaced them, I don't know, I wasn't paying too much attention. They did something with the pipes down there, and they're not done with it yet, so they haven't like fully filled it in and like covered it with asphalt and everything to smooth out the road. What they did was filled it with loosely packed dirt so that it's not a big gaping pit and people can still drive over it, but it's got like this divot to it that is shallow enough that people can't really see it when they are approaching, but deep enough that when you drive into it and come out, it scrapes the front of the car. There has been a lot of car scraping sounds all day for several days now, so if you hear that in the background of this video, just ignore it. That's what I'm trying to do. Another disclaimer is that I will not be editing the covers of the books into the video because there are too many, and I honestly don't think my editing software or my almost decade-old laptop can handle that. So, sorry. If there are any books that you hear me talk about that you're curious to know more, just leave a comment and I will let you know specifically which book I'm talking about. Sometimes there's books with different titles or different books with the same title. Might be some confusion there. I'm happy to clarify anything in the comments. Also, I will try not to go into too much detail about these books because there are a lot of series on this list and I don't want this video to be 3 hours long, so I will just do my best to rapid fire this. It's a bus going by because I live on a bus route. Another disclaimer, live on a bus route, so lots of loud bus sounds. Anyway, I think those are all of my disclaimers. Oh, one more thing. I'm not gonna be like looking at the camera for most of this video because I film on my phone. My phone is propped up on my laptop. On my laptop screen, I have all of the series because I have my series tracker open. So I will be looking past my phone to read the series off to you so I don't forget any or skip any. So yeah, it's just gonna be a weird video, but I like watching these types of videos, so I hope someone else out there does too, and there's a reason for me to make it besides my own enjoyment. But yes, now that I've been yapping for 3 minutes, let's finally get to talking about these series. So my series tracker is split up by length of series, so we're going to start with the duologies, and first on this list is Eon by Alison Goodman. I have read the first book, have to read the second. We have Pet by Akwekie Emezi. I've read Pet, so I still have to read the prequel, Bitter, which is, I believe, about the mother of the main character in Pet. Then there is There There by Tommy Orange, which did not have a sequel for a very long time. It was like 7 or 8 years, I think, between the first book and the second book being published, but I'm very excited to read the sequel. I have to reread There There first, though, because it has been a few years since I've read that. Then we have the Gumio series by Kat Cho. I have read Wicked Fox. I would like to reread that before moving on to Vicious Spirits because it's been many years since I've read that book as well. Then we have the Descendants of the Zodiac series by Katie Zhao. I have read the first book. The second book just came out a couple of months ago. I don't actually know if this one's going to be a duology, but at the very least, we only have 2 books out at the moment. There might be more in the future, but that is yet to be seen. Then we have This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers, and I have to read the sequel novella, which hopefully I will be doing very early in 2026 because there's a new edition of this book being published and it will have the novella in print for the first time ever in the back of the book. So I'll be rereading the first book and then reading the novella, and I'm so excited for that. Then we have the Betrayal Prophecies by Adrian Tooley. I've read the first book, have to read the second. We have the 4.5 Matte series by Tomihiko Morimi. I don't have the author names on my series tracker, so I'm doing my best to remember who wrote all of these books, so bear with me if I can't remember all of them. But the 4.5 Matte series, I've read the Tatami Galaxy, so I just have the Tatami Time Machine Blues, which I did get a physical copy of, or more accurately, my boyfriend got a physical copy of very recently, so I can read that. I have the Nico D'Angelo Adventures. I would like to reread The Sun and the Star before getting on to The Court of the Dead. There is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I've read Bride. I need to read Mate, which is a recent release. And the last duology on this list isn't even really a duology, but I have Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. I would like to reread Into the Drowning Deep and then read the prequel novella Rolling in the Deep, although I might read the prequel first and then reread the actual book. I am undecided on that one. Moving on to trilogies, first up we have the Blight Harbor series by Laura Senf, I believe, and I've read the first book, The Clackety, so I have 2 more to go. Then we have the Ruinous Love trilogy by Brynne Weaver. I've read the first 2, loved the first one, was not a fan of the second, so I've been putting off the third one, but I really need to get to it. Like, I'm very apprehensively excited to finish out this trilogy, and I just need to, finally convince myself to do it. Then we have The Extraordinary Adventures of the Athena Club by Theodora Goss. This is another series where I loved the first one, was not a fan of the second, have been putting off reading the third one, so yeah, we will see when that happens. Then we have the Sworn Soldier series by T. Kingfisher. I've read the first 2, and then the third one just recently came out. I don't love these books, but they are quick. T. Kingfisher is not, a favorite author of mine. I know she's beloved here on BookTube, but I'm not a huge fan of her books, but for some reason, part of me wants to continue on with this series. It might be more than 3 books at some point, but for now we only have information about the 3 that are out, so I'm considering it a trilogy. Next up is the Emily Wilde series by Heather Fawcett. I have read the first 2 and loved them. The third one, I am hoping I might be able to squeeze in before the end of the year, because it is the last book from my 25 in 2025 list that I need to read to complete the whole thing, and I've never completed a whole reading challenge like that, so I want to read it, but I truly don't know if I'll be able to get to it, but fingers crossed. Then we have the 100 Cupboards series by N.D. Wilson. I have read the first one and need to read the other 2. Same with the Howl's Moving Castle series by Diana Wynne Jones. You can see I have a very beautiful special edition of Howl's Moving Castle up here. That was my birthday gift from my boyfriend this year, so I would like to reread that in this very pretty edition and then read the 2 companion novels. Another bus going by. And then we have the Vardari series by Siri Petterson, which you can see right here. It's this dark blue book. That is the first book that I have read. The second book came out this year. I am hoping to read it quite soon. I do not have a copy yet, but I will be getting one, I believe, pretty soon. And then the third book has not been written yet, so I can't exactly finish this one, but I can at least catch up. Similarly, we have the Iron Widow series by Shirin J. Zhao, and I have read and adored the first 2 books, but we have absolutely no information on book 3 other than that there will be a book 3, so I can't read this one, but I will be getting it as soon as book 3 is published. Then we have the Stormheart series by Cora Carmack. I've read the first one. I don't know if the third one has been published yet. I've been putting off rereading the first one and then moving on to the second one because the third one was delayed so much, but it might have been published this year. It might be publishing early next year. I don't know. It was supposed to come out a long time ago, but I've heard news that it is coming out quite soon or has very recently come out, so I might be able to get back to that series. Then we have the Princess Academy series by Shannon Hale. I've read the first one, need to read the next 2. Same with the Dragon Slippers series by Jessica Day George. I've read the first one, need to read the other 2. And honestly, that is a very big theme. It's how I have all of these series on the list. I'm very good at starting series and not very good at continuing them. So kind of rapid firing the series where I've read the first one, I need to read the other 2. We have Shadowlands by, is this Kieran Scott or Kate Bryan? They're the same person, but some of her books are published under Kieran Scott and some are under Kate Bryan, and I have books, that was someone scraping their car. I have books from both pen names, and I don't remember which one Shadowlands is, but I do have to continue that series. We have The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, we have His Fair Assassin by Robin Lefevers, and we have the Myth and Magic poetry series by, who is that by? Trista Mateer, I believe is her name. All of those, I've read the first one and need to read the other two. Next up is the Fallen Gods series by Hannah Kaner. I've read the first two, need to finish out the trilogy. The way I was reading these was having the physical book and the audiobook at the same time, and I really loved doing that, so I'm definitely going to do that for book 3 as well. Then we have the Alex Stern series by Leigh Bardugo, and I've read both books that are out now. This was originally planned to be like a 12-book series that then got shortened and then shortened again, so I'm pretty sure it's only going to be a trilogy, but we will have to wait for the book, the next one, the third one, to come out to see if it is the finale of the series or not. Also by Leigh Bardugo, we have the Shadow and Bone series, which I've read the first one, need to read the next two. Then we have the Remembrance of Earth's Past series by Cixin Liu, and I've read the first one, need to read the next two. Then we have Lord of the Rings, which I have read before a couple of times, but I recently started rereading it. It was supposed to be a buddy read with my friend Stieg, but we both kind of fell off of that, so maybe we can get back into it, but I've reread the first book and would like to reread the other two. We have the Seasons of Carnage series by Brynne Weaver. Yes, I started another Brynne Weaver series without finishing the one I was in the middle of. It's fine, but I've read the first one. The second one will be coming out next summer, and then we will have a third one eventually. For the Roots of Chaos series by Samantha Shannon, I've read The Prior of the Orange Tree and A Day of Fallen Night. I have not yet read Among the Burning Flowers, which is a direct prequel to Priory as opposed to a distant prequel like Day of Fallen Night was. So that series is kind of wonky, but I do have just one book to read, and it is quite short compared to the others. I think it's only like 300 to 400 pages as opposed to 800 plus, so that's fun. Then we have the Gemma Doyle trilogy by Libba Bray, and I've read the first two, have one more to go. And the last trilogy on my list is Hell's Library by A.J. Hackworth. I have read the first one quite recently and have two more to go. Next up is quartets. We have, starting off, Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I've read the first one, have three more to go. Then we have An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. I've read the first two, so I'm halfway through. Similarly, we have The Diviners by Libba Bray. I've read the first two, so I have two more to go. And we also have All the Wrong Questions by Lemony Snicket, which is a 4-book series, but there's also like a 2.5 of like little mini mysteries, and I've read the first two plus the 2.5 book, so I've got two more actual novels to go to. Then we have the Simonverse novels by Becky Albertalli, which is less a series and more just a bunch of books all set in and around the same town, and I've read Simon versus the Homo sapiens Agenda, and I am interested in continuing, but it's not a high priority, but there are 3 more books that I would be interested in picking up at some point in time. We have Hex Hall by Rachel Hawkins, which is actually a trilogy, and then there's like a companion novel, so that's why I have it in the 4-book series column, but I've read the first one, so I have 3 more to go. Then we have Small Spaces by Catherine Arden, which I've read the first 2, loved, very quick reads, very spooky and fun, so I've got 2 more to go, and I am very excited to read them. Then we have the Daevabad trilogy I've read all 3 books from, but there is a short story collection, I believe, called The River of Silver. It's either a short story collection or like a prequel or something, but I have yet to read that. And then the last 4-book series on my list is the Alchemical Journeys by Seanan McGuire. I almost said Mira Grant because that's her pen name, but these ones are published under Seanan McGuire. I didn't love Middle Game, but I'm not writing off that series entirely just yet. At some point in the future, I might decide that I'm no longer interested in continuing, but at this point in time, I am tentatively open to reading the rest of this series. For 5-book series, the first one on the list is The Chronicles of Prydain by Lloyd Alexander. I've read the first one, would like to continue on with the series and read the other 4. These are very quick, fun, high fantasy, middle grade books, so I think if I had the opportunity to do so, I could like blast through all of them in a weekend, and that sounds like a really good time to me. Then we have the Witches of Thistle Grove, which is a romance series with witches, obviously, and they don't all follow the same people. They're like companion books, and I've read the first one, and I'm tentatively looking forward to the rest. There's a couple that I'm very excited to read, and a couple that I'm not very excited to read, so we'll see how that goes. Then we have the Janie Johnson series by Caroline B. Cooney. That is her name. This is one that has a lot of nostalgia for me because I remember reading the first book, The Face on the Milk Carton, when I was in like third grade. And very recently, I reread the first two in the series and did not have a great time, but part of me still wants to continue on and read the other three just for nostalgia's sake, so we'll see if that actually happens. And then we have the Lockwood & Co. series. I recently read the first one for the Nostalgia Train book club, so I have 4 more to go on that. For 6-book series, we have starting off strong Vampire Academy, which I have read all of before, but I am rereading it, and I've reread the first 3, so I'm halfway there. I've got 3 more to go. Then we have the Memoirs of Lady Trent by Marie Brennan, and I've read the first one and have 5 more to go, although the series itself is only 5 books, and then the 6th one is like a sequel of sorts, like it follows a different character, her daughter, maybe? I'm not sure, but I'm very interested in continuing on with this. Then we have the Dungeons and Dating series by Catherine McIntyre. Is that her name? I think it is. This is not my wheelhouse normally, but it is adult contemporary romance with a nerdy twist, and I was very surprised by how much I enjoyed the first one, so I am actually looking forward to the rest of the books. We only have 2 7-book series to talk about. The first one is Septimus Heap by Angie Sage, and I want to continue on, but I feel like I don't remember enough of the first book because I've only read the first one. I feel like I would need to reread it in order to continue on, but at the same time, like, I do remember quite a bit of the first one, just not enough to be confident continuing the series, so I might like put this off for another year or so and then reread the first one and then continue on. I don't know. This is another one that I read as a kid and then just never continued on with the series and would like to revisit it. Then we have The Royal Ranger by John Flanagan, one of my favorite authors. This is the sequel series to Ranger's Apprentice, and I somehow just have never continued past the first book. There's no guarantee that there are only 7 books in the series. He could write more in the future, but as of right now, there are only 7, so I've got 6 more to go. We've got 3 series that have 9 books in them currently. First off is In the Forests of the Night, which I believe the actual series name is Den of Shadows, but I have it in here as In the Forests of the Night because that's the first book. This is by Amelia Atwater Rhodes, and I've read the first one and have not read any of the rest, which is very common, as I'm sure you've picked up on by now. We also have The Sisters Grimm by Michael Buckley. I don't actually know if there's a J there, but I'm pretty sure that's the author's name. And I've read the first one and have all of the rest to continue with. Then I have The Witcher by Andrzej Sapkowski, which was a recent start for me. I really, really enjoyed The Last Wish, and I'm very excited to continue on. I believe there's like a prequel that recently came out, which is very fun. I've seen a couple of people reading that. Then we have the Shadow Demons saga by Sarah Cannon. I've read the first one and maybe the second, but I don't actually remember for sure if I finished the second one. This was a long time ago that I first picked these up. I would like to start back over from the beginning and continue on because the 12th and final book, which the author has been struggling to write for many years now, is probably going to come out next year. At least that's what it seems like from how she's been talking about it. I watch Sarah Cannon on YouTube. I love her content. So I think now is a good time to kind of jump back on the bandwagon and read the first 11 books to prepare myself for when book 12 comes out. And the last section of my series tracker is series with an insane amount of books. So first up is the Ice Planet Barbarians series by Ruby Dixon, although in my tracker, I don't just have the Ice Planet Barbarians books because there are a couple of other series that are kind of like all woven together. So I've got all of them in one like long list. I have read 7 of these books plus one of the short story collections, and I'm itching to continue on. Like, I genuinely think about the next book every single day, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could pick that up right now, but I cannot. I have to wait because I've got too many reading priorities, but I will be picking up Barbarian's Taming very early in 2026, like as soon as I possibly can. Then we have the Animorphs by K.A. Applegate. I've read 12 or 13 of these, something like that, and there are 54. So I will be reading them for a good long while. We then have the Wayward Children series by Seanan McGuire. Unlike Middle Game, which I was not a huge fan of, so I'm like not sure if I'm going to continue on, the Wayward Children series I adore. I've read the first 4 books and 1 short story, and I've got plenty more to go because there's, I think, 11 actual books and then like 7 or 8 short stories. So I've got plenty to read, and I'm just so excited to read all of them, especially the next one, which is Come Tumbling Down. There's another bus coming by, my bad. But Come Tumbling Down is another Jack and Jill book, and Jack and Jill are my favorite characters in the series, so I'm so excited to read that. Then we have another Seanan McGuire series, which is the October Day books, and I think there's like 18 of these. There's so many. And this is another one where like I liked it. I'm unsure if I'm going to continue on with it. I'll give it a couple of books probably, but if I'm not like super impressed moving on from there, I will probably not finish out the entire series. But I did definitely like Rosemary and Rue, the first book, more than I liked Middle Game. So yeah, I've only read the first one, so I've got a long way to go. And then the last series on this tracker is the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett, which has 40 something books, and I've read one of them, so I have my work cut out for me, but I did really love The Color of Magic, so I am very excited to read the rest of these Discworld books over the next many years of my life. So, at my count, which very well could be incorrect, I'm in the middle of 63 series. Not all of them I can continue, but most of them I can, and most of them I have more than one book to read. I did not count how many books I still have yet to read in the series. That would be too much, but 63 series. Wow, that is a lot. I don't mind being in the middle of a lot of series, but I would like to get that number down a little bit, maybe to like 30. So I'm not gonna set any specific goals or anything for the new year other than I would like to read down my series. I do have some plans in place on how I'm going to be doing that, some little games I'm gonna play to make reading and continuing these series a little bit more fun beyond just the enjoyment of reading these books. So stay tuned for a future video to hear about those plans. But now we have finally come to the end of this video. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I will see you guys in the next one. Bye everyone.